to help us with the layout and fabric choices.
No waiting and amazing customer service. I mean, why would we go anywhere else?
Boswell's on Easy Street. It's closer than you think.
Caught in a conflict? Family? Workplace? Neighbor? Business? Housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
Bob File Boats and Motors is your local Yamaha headquarters. For more than 30 years, Yamaha outboards have delivered far more than superior power, performance, and efficiency. Yamaha owners get something that can't be measured in horsepower or RPM: legendary Yamaha reliability. Find the Yamaha outboard that fits your life at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online.
And we're back at it, not working real hard, but we're here, so we'll meet you halfway on that one. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host, 24th day of August, 2023. Kind of a milky haze out there. We talked about this yesterday. We knew it was coming, and it is here, and it's going to hang around for most of the day today. Could get a little thicker. I just checked the AQI index. We're fine. We're still good. We'll even accept moderate. We don't want to get much dirtier than that, though. So it is kind of a hazy morning this morning. Also kind of cool, 54 degrees outside of our studio. So we're going to see some haze mixed in with the sunshine today. Things are going to change, begin to change overnight into Friday. A hot weekend, and then some much needed rain is in the forecast for next week. In fact, we could get some pretty good rain as we bid adieu to August and welcome September, and quite frankly, we need it. Forecast details are top of the agenda. So is the news, which would be second on the agenda, I guess. Mariners' winning streak came to an end yesterday. They went to extra innings, had a nice comeback, tied it, took the lead in the ninth inning, as a matter of fact, but couldn't hold on against the White Sox. Highlights of that: they get the day off. They're back in the Emerald City. The Royals coming to town for a 3-game weekend. Mike McNally's got an opinion about investments, I guess is the best way to put it. Pause for pets because it's Thursday. Blue the dog needs a home. We'll visit with our friends at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and we also had a chance to visit with our good buddy Alex Haley from the Numerica Performing Arts Center. He's the Director of Programming and Marketing, handles a lot of the bookings. They have a very busy fall coming up at the Numerica PAC, and we'll talk about all the events that they are bringing to town with Alex in the back half of the program. Some good stuff. Got a good show for you. Let's hope I can hold up my end of the bargain. 2 minutes after the hour, let's start with our rather hazy tour around north central Washington with the Wenatchee Heights camera. Oh, I guess we're going to start out with Cashmere. That's cool. We love Cashmere too. We refer to that camera as the Apple Annie's camera because it's on a ridge high above the antique mall there, Apple Annie's, the big mall there in Cashmere. Looking out over Cashmere, you can see the park and the community center, Stein Hill off in the distance, and yeah, it's hazy. Good morning to Cashmere. How are you? The cameras don't talk back, and if they do, I would need to go see counseling. Camera 2, since apparently we're mixing it up, that's the Rondo camera, of course. Still hazy there. Normally, of course, on a clear day, you can see the Wenatchee Valley, Mission Ridge way off in the distance. Can't this morning, but you can't see Lake Annie yet. Of course, the days are getting shorter. We're losing about 2.5 minutes of daylight. Now, this is the time of the year where that happens. In May, we gain about 2.5 minutes of daylight in May, and in August, we start losing it at a pretty good clip. Next up on our tour, Ephrata. Good morning, Ephrata. It is chilly, by the way, in Ephrata. It's only 48 in Ephrata. It's 54 here in Wenatchee, but we're not done with summer yet, although I can't wait to get the rain. We need the rain, and I'm going to be welcoming that next week. As you can see, pretty hazy there in the seat of Grant County. And are we going to go to Wenatchee or not? We're not. Oh, there we go. There's Wenatchee Valley. There's the haze you can see from our Wenatchee Heights camera, giving Wenatchee most of the love today on this 24th day of August. Climate Prediction Center spit this out yesterday. We thought we'd throw it your way. This is the 6 to 10 day temperature variations for next week. This is for most of next week. I told you we're going to see some rain coming. As far as temperatures are concerned, it's going to be pretty much normal. Do we have that, Uriah? We're waiting, I think, for that to pop up here on the screen. There you go. This is your 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. So this takes us for next week, basically all of next week. As you can see, the temperature is going to be right around normal, lower to mid 80s essentially is what we're looking at for our temperatures, afternoon high temperatures for next week. That also includes the overnight lows. But what we really need is some precipitation, and this is looking good. We have a pretty good chance, as you can see, an above average chance of quite a bit of rain all over the Pacific Northwest for next week, and it is it's going to be good stuff. It's going to really start on Monday night, and really for most of next week, we're going to see hit and miss showers all of next week, and the clouds associated with it. We are in a drought. We are way behind on where we should be for our annual rainfall, and so that is good news. So temperature is about normal, but precipitation above normal for next week. Thank you very much, National Weather Service. Well, they don't have anything to do with it. Mother Nature handles that. 83 today with hazy skies. I wouldn't be surprised if we get the air gets a little bit dirtier. We might get into the moderate range. Right now we're in the good range on the AQI. Probably going to slip into the moderate category before this day is over. 83 our high. Nice light wind. Clouds, a few clouds tonight. There's a weak system coming in Friday. It's going to give us a slight chance of some light rain, but it's going to give way to sunshine in the afternoon. So we could use a little bit of rain, but by the time 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon rolls around on Friday, the sun will be back out. We'll top off at 84. Then we're in for a bit of a hot spell on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday with near 100 degrees on Sunday and Monday. And then Monday night, things are going to start changing. We'll start seeing clouds rolling in while you're asleep. By the time we get to Tuesday, we could get some rain. We got about a 60% chance of rain with lots of clouds on Tuesday, 40% chance of rain on Tuesday night, 40% chance of rain on Wednesday, chance of rain on Thursday. I'd like to see that 60% chance of rain go to 100% chance of rain. We shall see, but some much needed rain is coming our way once we get to Monday night and Tuesday. Have to pack a little patience. If you're impatient for the news, you only got to wait 2 minutes, and then we'll have it for you. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you're calling on 35-plus years of experience in the Wenatchee Valley. Spending extra time in your home, you may have discovered an unwanted aroma. Stinky feet, pets, who knows what. Call Dick's today about installing their Train Clean Effects electronic air cleaner or a Rheem Halo ultraviolet air purifier. Either way, the air quality in your home will be improved. Proudly servicing all of North Central Washington, call 884-6444 today.
This is Grace, and this is her world record-holding guinea pig with an iconic name, Abby.
She currently holds the Guinness World Record for the highest bar jump by a guinea pig. I ride horses and I jump, so I kind of thought it'd be interesting to teach my guinea pig to jump like my horse does.
One day she came out of her room and looked at us, and I said, "Did you get it?" And she said, "Yeah, we got it."
After we won our award, we came to Abby's to celebrate.
Few things strike fear in the human heart, like the possibility of a rattlesnake bite. Dogs can encounter rattlesnakes on their walks or in their yards, and being curious, often get bitten on their face, neck, and legs. Luckily, a vaccination is available to help neutralize venom so dogs experience less pain and swelling. Even if your dog has received a vaccine, you still need to seek immediate help. Dr. Shauna Bayes and the staff of Paws and Claws care about your pet's health. Call 888-PAWS to schedule your vaccination today.
It's a milky haze in the Wenatchee Valley. We are at 54 degrees, close to 80 with some sun breaks. Again, we're going to have to deal with the with the smoke, unfortunately. A little bit of light rain possible Friday, a hot weekend, and a good chance of rain for most of next week. It's 9 minutes after the hour. Grant County's Narcotics Task Force, they tell us that they seized more than $20,000 worth of drugs at last weekend's Bass Canyon Festival at the Gorge in George. It's an electronic dance music festival. Brought in a bunch of people, about 20,000 people to the campground in the Gorge Amphitheater area. The Interagency Narcotics Enforcement Team, INET is what they call themselves. They seized all kinds of substances, psilocybin mushrooms, ketamine, cannabis over the course of the 3-day music fest. And detectives arrested 13 people on felony drug distribution charges. Chelan County PUD this week adopted new power rates for cryptocurrency miners and data centers. Those large megawatt customers will now pay a production charge for their energy use, as well as security deposits on new operations and limits on where major power users can be located. Those large loads would be deprioritized, too, in the event of a power grid emergency. The PUD says if an outage occurs, the agency would prioritize getting power to others first. Commissioners said the changes will maintain fairness for PUD customers of all shapes and sizes. The Wenatchee School District Board approved their budget for the school year. They did that at Tuesday's meeting. And of course, as you know by now, the district's been working through an $8 million shortfall that resulted in job cuts and an altered internet academy because of the loss of pandemic-era funds and the need for a softball field. Executive Director of Business and Finance Sean Fitzgerald gave a presentation to the board at the August 1st public budget hearing. A $4 million transfer will go from the general fund to the capital projects fund so they can build that softball field, which has not begun yet, but the board has identified Triangle Park as the ideal location for a softball field. Superintendent Corey Callahar said the district is in the process of looking into project managers to bid out for that job. And speaking of Wenatchee, about 1,000 Wenatchee School District employees gathered at Wenatchee High School for this year's opening day celebration. The Commons area at the school had about 50 community vendors on hand. They were treated to musical performances by Mariachi Hanachi, the Wenatchee High School Golden Apple Marching Band, and the High Tones. And the new superintendent, Corey Callahar, gave an address to the crowd at the high school auditorium and made things a little more exciting with the he launched T-shirts into the crowd. He borrowed a T-shirt cannon from the Wenatchee Wild. During Callahar's superintendent report, he noted that was the first time that the crowd has gathered since 2019. The district, by the way, begins school. First day of school for the Wenatchee School District is on Tuesday, August 29th. And more than 100 people showed up for the ribbon cutting ceremony of Columbia Valley Community Health's new campus on the east side of the valley. It's 29,000 square feet. It's on Eastmont Avenue. We've all been watching this thing go up over the last few years. Cost about $27 million. It'll offer medical, dental, and mental health services, as well as an on-site pharmacy. It officially opens for patients, by the way, next week. But Chief Executive Manuel Navarro says the ribbon cutting marks the end of decades of efforts towards getting a new clinic in place.
You know, I've been here 10 years, over 10 years, and that was when we purchased the lot. We opened our East Wenatchee Clinic. I was actually the administrator in charge of getting that running. But the ultimate goal was to continue to expand the services we provide. That was just medical. We know that behavioral health and dental are a key part of whole person care. So taking the time to build up our capital reserves and putting the timing in place, and it was ready to go. Like our main clinic in Wenatchee and in Chelan, we focus on primary care, so family medicine, pediatrics, maternity care. We also focus on integrated behavioral health, and then of course dental, so we'll be able to kind of do that whole person care approach. In addition to those services, we'll always do our wraparound services like member services to help people look for eligibility for insurance or apply for sliding fee, and then other social services that they might need. 10 years ago, when there was a report noting that there were no community health center access points in Douglas County, we felt like it was important for us to extend that into our services here. The bridge, certainly connects East Wenatchee and Wenatchee, Douglas, and Chelan County, And for a lot of us, traveling that bridge isn't an issue, even though it can be a hassle. But there are a lot of people who just can't because of transportation issues, or won't because of just fear of going across into the other city. And so that really drove us in knowing that not only just East Wenatchee, but Douglas County farther to the east, communities like Mansfield, Waterville, really needed to have improved access to healthcare. So that's what drove us in. So from a clinical standpoint, we'll have 10 medical providers, 2 psychologists, 2 dentists, 2 hygienists, 2 pharmacists, and then the support staff that will go out. So it'll probably be 50 to 100 on any given day, people working in that.
You know, the success of CVCH really are the employees. They're the heart and soul of what we do. And so I want to give the honor of cutting this ribbon to Gary May, our facilities director. So Gary, why don't you come up?
In the 13 years I've been here, we've completely remodeled the 600 Rondo. We've built the clinic next door, the one in Chelan, and expanded it. And so we've had a lot of practice. And so really we've put all of those together and in this one and made it function the way we really hope it'll function. This is a beautiful building, beautiful.
And finally, there's going to be a town hall to discuss housing solutions. They got some housing issues in the Lake Chelan area. It's going to be held next month in Manson. The Chelan Valley Housing Trust has coordinated the event with government officials and both local and private housing providers. The executive director of that organization, Scott Myers, says the event is a time to share ideas and establish a plan to address the current housing market. Chelan and Manson residents are encouraged to attend. Snacks and beverages will be provided. It will be Tuesday, September 12th at the Manson Grange Hall at 5 o'clock. And that's the news. On this Thursday, another day of gathering the news, disseminating the news, figuring out what the news exactly is, and then delivering the news to you. And we'll have the newscast for you right here on television at 5, 6, and 10. And again, if that doesn't work for you, it'll be up and running on our Facebook page, our homepage, and our YouTube page. You can consume the news anytime you so desire. And if there's something out there you think warrants our attention, get a hold of us. Send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. Well, the Mariners' 8-game winning streak came to an end, but they gave them a fight in Chicago. Sports in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
A break from reality. Central Washington Water has a showroom full of possibilities. They have the perfect hot tub for any space and any budget, including saltwater hot tubs for the absolute best ownership experience. Find free-flow plug-and-play spas that make it simple and affordable to get you soaking. Tropatone furniture to complete your patio. Make summer a splash with a high-quality, easy-to-set-up above-ground pool with pumps and filters from Central Washington Water, your water experts.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Continental Surf Cup at Lakeside Surf. Oh my gosh. Surf Cup.
Badger Mountain Brewery is your cure for boredom. Jam Night Mondays. Trivia Wednesdays. Live Music Fridays. And Sunday Brunch. There's always something brewing at Badger Mountain. So come join the party.
The Clearwater Saloon and Casino has the best Vegas-style games in East Wenatchee. Come enjoy yourself and discover the nightly action. Win big and meet new friends at the Clearwater Saloon and Casino.
Just about 19 minutes after the hour, an unfortunate doink ended Seattle's 8-game winning streak. Chicago walks it off in 10 innings. The final was 5-4. The doink happened in the 10th inning. We'll get to that in a minute. The Mariners trailed 3-0. It was hot. It was steamy. It was humid in Chicago, the kind of weather that just sucks the energy right out of you. They looked a little listless, but the Mariners finally pushed across their first run of the 7th inning, and then they rallied for 3 runs in the 9th inning to take the lead.
Runner goes, and Cabby's in standing. Cabby is in there. Jose Caballero. Couple of stolen bases. Bunt. He's going to play to run, and he's going to win that race to the bag. Nicely done by Josh Rojas. RBI bunt. Mariners get their first run. It's 3-1 Chicago. Bases loaded, 1 out, down, 2 runs. Here's the pitch from Santos. Oh, and hit him. 3-2 ball game. Into center field. Oh, man, he's getting down. Here comes Cal. JP rolling. He's coming to third. And the Mariners have the lead. Gino with a big 2-run single.
We talked about the energy inside that dugout, especially offensively, and just nothing doing. And that slider from Santos, such a tough pitch to get. All of a sudden, they started getting it here in the 9th inning.
1-2. Into right field. That's down for a base hit. Hernandez up with the ball. To the plate. Save for tie. They had a chance to cut it and make an out at second base. Instead, they let it go through, and the Sox get an extra base.
You wonder what Cal was saying or not saying. Andrew, great job. We talked about it. He's not going to hit a home run. He's going to hit where the ball's pitched. That was inner half. Took it to right center field.
Throw to second base. Tim is off the bag. And now it goes sailing wide at third. Here comes Tim Anderson. The Sox win as the Mariners sling it all over the ball yard. They had him.
They had him, and then they didn't.
You probably weren't able to tell from that highlight, but J.P. Crawford's throw actually hit the runner at third base in the helmet and allowed him to score the winning run. So Seattle's 10-game road trip, a good one. They finished at 8-2. Scott Service, after the game, sounded like the Mariners won.
Yeah, our guys playing great. Up and down the lineup. Josh Rojas gets 3 hits today. You know, Gino's been clutch all year long. It's different guys doing different things at key moments in the game, and it's what it takes. You know, we're playing great. You know, it was a chance to extend another long winning streak. We'll get home. We'll start one when we get back home. Yeah, and you know, Cal made a great play, great read there on top of it. He overextended his lead. We throw behind, and as runners are taught, you know, you kind of go towards the glove, and that's where the ball is going to end up. And unfortunately, you know, the ball hit him, and you know, big break for them today. I saw command. I think that's the biggest thing. Trusting his stuff, and I know, like I said, he hasn't pitched out of the bullpen much. Predominantly bench starter. We're going to use him out of the bullpen in that, you know, that type of role. Come in multiple innings because he's got starter weapons. But I love what I saw. I just love the attack mode. Throw strike one and then really get into his stuff after that. And he's got quality stuff. Yeah, that's the most challenging game we've played. You know, conditions-wise. I mean, that heat sucks a lot out of you, and certainly at the end of a road trip, it can get very challenging. But like I said, our guys took the right mindset going into the game. They were continually grinding through it, and then, you know, we still had a chance there and come up just huge in the 9th inning. Can't say enough about the job we did there.
Mariners are back in the cooler climes of the Pacific Northwest. They're off today. The Royals come into town tomorrow night, 7:10. By the way, the game is only available to watch on Apple Plus TV, which sucks because I don't have that. The good news for Seattle, Houston also lost yesterday. Red Sox scoring 3 runs at the top of the 9th to get the victory, 7-5 over the Astros. And the Rangers were idle, so their lead over Houston is a game and a half over the Mariners. Cincinnati swept the Angels in a doubleheader, so LA drops to 12 games out of first place, and they lose more ground in the wild card chase. Kansas City comes to town after beating Oakland 4-0. So the wild card standings. First of all, there's the standings in the division. Here's your wild card standings. You want to be above that white line. Tampa Bay edged the Rockies to extend their lead to 5.5 games over Houston. Seattle remains a full game in front of Toronto for the final playoff spot. Blue Jays lost to Baltimore 7-0. Cincinnati's sweep of the Angels, combined with the Yankees' victory over Washington, helps the Yankees back into the race. They're now above L.A. in the chase. The Yankees 9.5 games behind, though, the Mariners. Running back Kenneth Walker III is at full speed for the first time in training camp for the Seahawks. The former second-round draft pick has missed most of camp with a groin injury. He says it was great to get back on the field. Says he feels a lot more comfortable coming into his second season with the Seahawks.
It's good. It's good to be back on the field. Out here today was my first time with the pads on, so it's good to get the feel of it before we start the regular season. Yeah, I'm comfortable. Yeah, I'm comfortable with everything now. I feel good. It's a big difference between year one and year two. I know they said that a lot, but I kind of didn't believe it, but I'm real comfortable now. I don't have to think as much. It's coming easier to me now.
Why did you doubt that there would be a big difference between year one and year two?
Because I feel like that's such a short time. It felt like a short time, but when we came back in OTAs and started training camp, everything was smooth. So yeah, I'm real comfortable now. DJ
Dallas and Zach Charbonnet have been carrying the load at running back. By the way, the guy you just saw there, Mr. Walker, is not expected to play Saturday morning against Green Bay. Defensively, of course, last year the Seahawks were really bad at stopping the run. They're working on that. Mario Edwards Jr. hopes to be a big factor in trying to stop the run. He's a 9-year veteran. He's signed with the Seahawks as a free agent in the offseason. He says Seattle's a good fit for him.
Just the camaraderie. This place here has great chemistry. We love it. Great chemistry. Just came to a place where everybody's competing every day. Familiar faces. It's been fun. It's a player base. He listens to the players. He works really good with the players, and he takes care of us good as well. And I just like the whole scheme, man. We have athletes on every level of the ball, D-line, linebacker, secondary, and it's good to go up and be able to contribute to it. Seahawks play one more game that doesn't count. Saturday morning, 10 a.m. in Green Bay. You can watch it on King 5 or not. It's a free country. And those are just some of the games that people are playing at 26 minutes after the hour. Happy National Waffle Day today for our obscure holiday. Doesn't that look good? I love waffles because the little ridges, the little holes in the waffle holds in the butter and the maple syrup. It was on this date, August 24th, in 1869, that Cornelius Swathart was given the patent, the U.S. patent for the waffle iron. But of course, this was 1869, so it wasn't an electric waffle iron. It was just a waffle iron, and they were quite temperamental. Waffles were considered only for the rich and the powerful and royalty. That all changed. In fact, waffles were all but going extinct until General Electric came out with the electric waffle iron in 1918, and that saved the waffle from extinction. Now anybody can make a waffle at home if you have a waffle iron. Pretty easily done. Thomas Jefferson brought a waffle iron from France to the U.S. It wasn't what we would say now. Waffles were what they used for ice cream cones when the ice cream cone was invented. In St. Louis at the World's Fair in 1904, the guy took a waffle and made it into a cone and put ice cream inside of that. And so we have that. And the very first Nike pair of sneakers, the soles were made from a waffle iron. Enjoy National Waffle Day today. I couldn't make up my mind on whether I was going to do that or not. I was kind of waffling. That's so bad. Terrible pun, Dan. Let's move forward. Today in history, August 24th, 1814, for the first and only time in this nation's history, a foreign nation occupied our capital. During the War of 1812, British troops invaded Washington, D.C. They burned the Capitol, burned the White House. A lot of other buildings were set ablaze. What saved it was a big rainstorm the next day. They think it might have even been a hurricane. This was 1814, so nobody really knows, but a significant rainstorm came in the next day and just poured rain and put all the fires out, but it took them a while, 12 years to rebuild the Capitol. But during the War of 1812, on this day in 1814, the British took over the city of Washington, D.C. And who do we have to thank for this? A general by the name of William Henry Winder. William Henry Winder was an American general. During the War of 1812 up in Canada, his forces outnumbered the British 4-1. 4-1 in a battle. They ended up losing the battle. Winder himself got captured.
The British realized that this Winder guy is such an incompetent boob that we're better off giving him back to the Americans. So they gave him back to the Americans, and the Americans put him in charge of, you guessed it, defending Washington, D.C. They finally got him out of a job after this fiasco 209 years ago today. 69 years ago today, this law is still in the books. The Communist Control Act goes into effect. It was signed into law by Eisenhower. It's still in effect, outlawing the Communist Party in the United States. Supreme Court's never ruled on it because it's never been enforced. You'd think, there would be a token case. You'll arrest somebody for being a commie, and then they could go to the Supreme Court and they could decide whether the Communist Control Act of 1954 is even constitutional. It probably isn't. It isn't. But the Supreme Court hasn't had a rule on the provisions of the act because the act has never been enforced. So it's not really against the law to be a communist in this country, although it is. There's a legal theory that if a law is on the books but nobody enforces it, it really isn't a law. That was 69 years ago today. I remember this day 34 years ago today. Rule 21D in baseball's rule book, any player, umpire, or club, or league official, or league employee who shall bet any sum whatsoever on any baseball game in connection with which the bettor has a role to play, has a duty to perform. If they do that, they are permanently ineligible. Pete Rose, after lawsuits and investigations, the summer of 1989, in the world of sports, baseball specifically, but sports, the Pete Rose thing just hung over everything like a low cloud. And finally, August 24th, 1989, 34 years ago today, Commissioner A. Bartlett Giamatti dropped the hammer. Here's the press conference.
The banishment for life of Pete Rose from baseball is the sad end of a sorry episode. One of the game's greatest players has engaged in a variety of acts which have stained the game, and he must now live with the consequences of those acts. By choosing not to come to a hearing before me, and by choosing not to proffer any testimony or evidence contrary to the evidence and information contained in the report of the special counsel to the commissioner, Mr. Rose has accepted baseball's ultimate sanction, which is lifetime ineligibility. The matter of Mr. Rose is now closed. It will be debated and discussed. Let no one think that it did not hurt baseball. That hurt will pass, however, as the great glory of the game asserts itself and a resilient institution goes forward. Let it also be clear that no individual is superior to the game.
Of course, that was in 1989. For the next 15 years, Pete Rose denied all the accusations, said I'm completely innocent, never bet on baseball, never bet on the Reds. I read the Dowd report the day it came out. I was a huge fan of Pete Rose, and this just broke my heart. He denied it for 15 years, and he admitted it, so he has actually alienated both the people who believe Pete Rose and those who didn't believe him to begin with. And Pete Rose, he got a chance in 2015. He applied for reinstatement with Rob Manfred, the commissioner of baseball. Pete Rose lives in Las Vegas, bets on sports every day, baseball and everything else he can bet on. Rob Manfred met with Pete Rose and said, I will reinstate you into the game of baseball if you stop betting on sports. And Pete said, I'm not going to do that. He was given his chance. 32 years ago today, Mikhail Gorbachev resigns as the president and chairman of the Communist Central Committee. This is a few days after the coup. There was a coup a couple days earlier, an attempted coup. It didn't work. Of course, the problem was he had hired all the people who then tried to throw him out of office. This is also Ukraine Independence Day on this very same day. August 24th, 1991, Ukraine said, we're out of here since the Soviet Union's falling apart. We don't want to be a part of this anymore. It is Independence Day in Ukraine for what it means. Gorbachev quits on this date 32 years ago today. That was a crazy summer. Hurricane Andrew made landfall on this date 31 years ago today in Homestead, Florida, Category 5. It is the most destructive hurricane ever to hit Florida. Florida has seen a lot of hurricanes. If you add up the structural damage, the monetary damage, and the lives lost, 65 people died, $28 billion in damages, 63,500 houses were damaged or destroyed. Hurricane Andrew makes landfall on this date in 1992. Happy 28th birthday to Windows 95. It was released to the public in North America on this date in 1995. In 4 days, they shipped 1 million copies in 4 days, and it became pretty much the operating system for almost every computer you can think of. Of course, I still use my Windows 95. It's very reliable. Happy birthday to Windows 95. And 17 years ago today, Pluto got demoted. That is the Earth. It's a representation. That is Earth, the size of Earth compared to the size of our moon and Pluto. And on this date in 2006, the International Astronomical Union, the IOU, said, Pluto, you are no longer a planet. They weren't consulted on that. Pluto gets demoted on this date in 2006. And we got some birthdays. Kenny Baker, R2-D2 in the films. He was the guy who got inside that little thing and rolled it around. Kenny Baker, born in the state in 1934. We lost Kenny a number of years ago at the age of 82. I think almost everybody knows. Of course, he and Anthony Daniels, who played C-3PO, they were the Laurel and Hardy, if you will, of the Star Wars franchise. They couldn't stand one another. Just couldn't abide to be around one another. On film, on screen, they were great. Of course, they were in costumes. But when Kenny Baker and Anthony Daniels weren't in costume, they just couldn't stand one another. Kenny Baker, born in the state in 1934. Cal Ripken Jr. A lot of people think he's the greatest shortstop ever. I think he has a claim to it anyway. 63 years old today. 2,632 consecutive games, 2 times an All-Star, most home runs by a shortstop ever. In the Baseball Hall of Fame, of course, class of 2007. Happy 63rd to Cal. And I, of course, follow race walking. My favorite Chinese race walker is 32 years old today. I'm talking, of course, about Wang Zhen. Wang Zhen is 32. He won the gold medal in race walking at the 2016 Rio Olympics. You'll get your card in the mail there, Wang. Just look for it. 36 minutes after the hour, Mike Minotti's got an opinion. We had a great conversation with Alex Haley on the stage at the New America Performing Arts Center. They have a jam-packed program going right through the holidays. Alex will walk you through some of the great entertainment coming to the America Pack stage starting tomorrow night. But first things first, Blue the dog needs a home. Let's pause for pets.
Hi, I'm Corley with Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, Animal Care Coordinator here. And this beautiful husky girl is Blue. She gets her name from her beautiful blue eyes. And she is just an absolute delight. We love Blue so much. She came to us as an owner surrender with another dog. Her owner did not want to have to bring her to us because he loved her so much. But it was a landlord situation, which, you know, happens. So now we have Blue, and we want to tell you all about her. So she loves people. People are her absolute favorite. We know from history that, her owner's history, that she doesn't do so well with cats or chickens or small animals like that. But she loves her people, and she does get along well with other dogs. She can be selective. She did live with another dog, but she just does kind of great with everybody. She's 3 years old, but as playful as a puppy, and she loves her stuffed animals, and she loves walks, and she just kind of loves snuggling. Although she's a husky, she's really one of our quietest that I think we've ever had. She's very quiet in her kennel and on walks and everything. I don't even know if I've ever heard her bark, to be honest. She also is really smart. She knows a bunch of tricks. She is very treat motivated, which makes it even easier to teach them more things. And she just is really snuggly. And we love her. Yes. She likes to give you kisses and loves ear scratchies and would really like to meet you. So we are open 11 till 6. Thursday through Tuesday, and we would really like for you to come down and meet her.
Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org.
We're turning up the heat with the hottest deals of the year. Right now, during the hot summer clearance sale, only at Click It RV. #1 in sales and service. The best RV brands, over 1,000 to choose from. And the best deals of the year on remaining 2023 model year-end clearance with incredible 30% off. Brand new RVs discounted up to 30%. Save thousands. Plus, no payments until 2024. During the hot summer clearance sale, now only at Click It RV. 5 Superstore locations. Hurry in today.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At coldwellbanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, compare cost of living city by city, and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams. At coldwellbanker.com.
Whether you're just dipping your feet or plunging right in, boating with a Sylvan pontoon boat is the way to go at Bob File Boats and Motors. Sylvan pontoon boats offer performance, reliability, and stability to take you, your family, and friends to the water in style. Sylvan pontoon boats have a wide variety of styles and layouts to suit your needs. See the full line of Sylvan pontoon boats at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNulty, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, some years ago, I was listening to the radio, and an ad came on advising me to buy silver now because the Chinese and the Armenians, or whoever, I don't know, they were buying up all the silver. So soon, any day now, the price of silver would skyrocket. So I checked the price of an ounce of silver that day, and I wrote it on a sticky note. I dated it, and I stuck the sticky on my wall in my office. Now, 1 year later, I checked the price of silver, and it had actually decreased a few dollars in price. Did I buy any silver? Nah. Will I be sorry someday? Maybe. But probably not. Oh, gosh. This is Mike Mad Dog McNulty, and that's my opinion.
At Confluence Health, our mission is clear: to provide exceptional care for our community. We believe in healthcare that's personal and local because we're just like you, members of this great community.
We are Confluence.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
We are Confluence.
So, how's Evan?
Well, he's all grown up now, but I worry about him.
So many dangers in the world. COVID, the environment, the opioid epidemic.
Yeah, I hear opioid misuse is on the rise.
I don't even know how to start a conversation with him.
This might help. GetTheFactsRx.com. There's a whole section on how to talk about opioids with your family.
Offer support, not judgment. Cool.
Talk to your family about the dangers of opioids. Visit GetTheFactsRx.com.
JDSA Law is a proud sponsor of these local event broadcasts. JDSA Law has been serving North Central and Eastern Washington since 1946. For over 70 years, their team of dedicated professionals has delivered quality, innovative legal services. JDSA Law partners with you to provide the finest legal advice and support as you navigate your personal and business challenges, your risks, and your accomplishments. JDSA Law supports the TV broadcasts of these local community events.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Welcome back to the program. In January of 1942, if you were a resident of the west coast of the United States, you were nervous. Pearl Harbor had just been attacked by Japanese Imperial Naval Forces, and the folks who lived in Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, Los Angeles, they were nervous. They were wondering, are we next? Where are the Japanese subs? That has absolutely nothing to do with my conversation with Alex Haley of the New America Performing Arts Center. I know you like your big introduction there, Alex.
Yes, well, that's pretty epic, yeah.
How are you?
Were you in high school when that happened?
That was in high school,
okay.
Yeah, our 75th high school reunion is right around the corner. We're really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Alex Haley from the New America Performing Arts Center. We're going to talk about the great slate of programs that the PAC themselves are bringing here to the big city right into the holidays. First things first, a couple of really cool things. New sound system, or I should say, a sound system.
Yes.
Talk about that and why it was so desperately needed. Now you have a state-of-the-art sound system built into the infrastructure. Talk about that, Alex.
So yeah, it was. It's a long time coming. It's been on our wish list for many years. Mike Locke has a great saying of whatever you think it's going to cost, add a zero, and that's how much it's going to cost for us. And so, as you can imagine, that was a big ticket item. We were able to get a very generous legacy gift that helped with that. And we were able to pull the trigger and buy a brand new sound system. Partner with our new season, the new shows, the caliber of shows we've been bringing in. We've been having to rent a sound system to meet the expectations of both the audience and the performers.
Especially musical performers. They're very particular about that.
Yep. And so Mike is a magician back there. He's playing his own instrument on the soundboard. And now it's gonna be much better experience for everybody coming to see here. And our new season reflects that. We booked a lot of music acts. It's very music heavy, so it's going to be a great opportunity to show that off for people.
Believe me, the Manhattan Transfer would not be coming here for their 50th anniversary tour if they didn't have a decent sound system. And that's going to help you book acts, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Letting folks know that, hey, we have the infrastructure for you to put on a top flight show.
Yep. Yeah, so part of how we're getting these acts is some of them have come through the area. They have to have a great experience, otherwise they're not going to come back. We have a group, Pink Martinis, coming back in just a couple of years. They were here, and if they don't have a good experience, if they think we're not up to snuff, they're not going to come back, and they're not going to book shows, and then their agent isn't going to book us with other groups. And so it all feeds into that and the programming that we want to do.
And the other thing I noticed, and I was talking to Kylie, our mutual friend, Ms. Boggs, who said, we were like on top of each other. There was little to no office space, one of those things they kind of overlooked when they built the place in the late 1990s. So you guys got some elbow room at the Exchange Building right across the alley.
Yeah, so we were able to get new office space. When the building was built, it was not built with office space. It wasn't intended for it to be used the way it is now. It was intended to be more like the Fest Hall in Leavenworth, where you'd have a group come in, they would put on their show, and they'd leave, and it wouldn't have a full-time staff and wouldn't have its own programming. But obviously it's changed over the years, and we've at one point we added the office space we have now, which we call the floating trailer, and it's on stilts in our loading bay, and that worked great to get us where we are. But as we continue to grow, we need more space. We need areas to meet with people and meet with sponsors and donors. And so now we have that. We're in the Exchange Building right next door. We just did a ribbon cutting this last month with the Chamber of Commerce. So it's really exciting. It's a nice spot, and we're really proud of it.
And you can do your job better, I suppose.
Yes, we have to justify that. I have to justify the new space. So absolutely, we're working hard.
In chronological order, the first show we're going to talk about does not take place on the stage of the New America PAC. This was a great idea a couple of years ago. You had this courtyard out in front of the fountain there that was just this big dead space. You said, this is stupid. I went to the show a couple weekends ago. Fantastic. Yeah. What a great show. Talk about the 25th.
So we started doing shows out in the courtyard. A few years ago, we did Shakespeare in the Park kind of thing. It was always this little unique spot down there. It felt like a stage. It had a stairwell was built, and it looked like it was a stage. It felt like it needed an audience out there. And we started doing some shows, and then partly due to COVID, we were forced outside a couple of times. And so we really started to learn how to use that space. We've done comedy shows out there. We've done concerts. We've done plays. We did the Hot August Nights review out there, where we weren't able to do a full production of Hot August Nights, but a lot of the cast came back, and we did kind of a greatest hits thing out there, and that was really fun. But this last year we did a courtyard concert with a group called Brass Against, and then this summer we're doing a 2-part summer concert series, which, as some people know, there's going to be a remodel in the next year or so of the convention center, and so that courtyard will be going away. And so we thought, well, we better take advantage of it while we can. So we're doing a 2-part series, and the next one comes up on August 25th with a group called Wilderness. They're a rock band out of Colorado. So people might recognize them from the kind of festival circuit. They're really fun. So these groups, we call it the black box concert. So we do them on the stage typically throughout the year, and then outside in the summer. And basically it's music that justifies getting up and moving and dancing and being on your feet. Because if it's a show that you want to sit down and watch, we have a great theater for that. So we do a little bit different with these black box shows, as we call them.
A cappella at its finest is the Manhattan Transfer. They're on their final world tour. They've been in business for 50 years, and this is a coup to bring this type of entertainment, top quality vocal stylings to this theater. How did you score that?
Like I said, this is just part of the process of all the work that goes into putting these shows on. We go and meet with agents at a conference each year. We build these relationships. During COVID, we were actually able to get a lot of these groups because they were really hungry to perform. So I think we were able to get groups that you maybe wouldn't have seen in Wenatchee or wouldn't even thought we could bring. And then that just kind of started the ball rolling. And I met with their agent when I was at this conference, and we thought this would be a great season opener. They said it's their final tour, which, as you know, is always true. Bands, they never get back together after their final tour.
I went to the Who's final show in 1982, and then they broke up and never got back together again.
Yeah, I think Elton John's still doing his farewell tour. So, but they've said this is their 50th anniversary and their final tour. And so I think people will remember their music from over the decades. It's going to be a great show to start off our season in September, and like you said, show off our brand new sound system. It's a perfect group to do that.
The Manhattan Transfer is 50 years old. Walt Disney Corporation is 100 years old, and they're going to be entertaining the folks here.
Yeah, so we have a really exciting group. It's a jazz group. It's a jazz tribute to 100 years of Disney music. So we've been trying to do a little bit more traditional jazz programming. We had an artist named Matthew Whitaker this last year. People really enjoy that, but it's also nice to have a little bit of a inroad and try and get some of those families out here. So it's going to be really fun. It's going to be a lot of music you recognize, but done in a unique way.
And then after that, on October 20th, this group is going to be, you're going to pack the place with this mariachi group. Talk about them.
So Mariachi Gente de Mexico, they're out of Chicago. They started as a youth mariachi group, and they have since grown up, and now they are touring all over the world. They're Latin Grammy nominated, and they're fantastic. It's a lot of different regions in Mexico that they represent. It's traditional mariachi, but they have their own spin on it. So if you like traditional mariachi, you're going to love it. If you just like fun music, you'll enjoy it.
And if you like good musicianship, because these people know their instruments.
Oh yeah. So if you go, I highly recommend that you go check them out on on your music stations. Go check out their YouTube videos. They have really
I believe there's a link on the pack thing for one of their videos, right?
Yeah. Check it out because it's a very unique sound. It's going to be a big fun night.
That's Friday, October 20th, and that show's going to sell out. I'm telling you that right now. And then right around the holidays, here we go. Festival of Trees and the Holiday Spice Show on the 30th and the 1st. Talk about that.
Yeah, so Festival of Trees is coming back. Festival of Trees will be kind of the week before Thanksgiving, and then right after that, we've kind of uncoupled Holiday Spice because it became its own thing. It used to be part of the Festival of Trees week, but we've realized that we can sell it well outside of that. So it's November 30th and December 1st. It's a great way to kick off the holiday season. It's a holiday review. We have music, we have dancing, we have comedy acts. It's just a great time with a lot of great local musicians and performers. So that one's been fun. We have 2 nights of that. I don't recall how many years we've been doing it, but as long as I've been here, we've been doing that show, and it's very popular. So we're bringing that one back. And then we also have our old time radio show that we've been doing for several years.
Yeah, it used to be a Christmas Carol. You did that for years with Jamie Wallace really leading the way there. And now you're doing It's a Wonderful Life this year.
Yep. So we've done this. We just one a few years ago. It's a great story. It's a great title for the artistry that goes into these old time radio shows. So if you're not familiar, it's 1940s style. All the sound effects, the Foley artists, as they're called, are on the stage, and they're actually the star of the show. So if you come see it live, you get to see how they create the sound effects live, and it's exactly how they used to do it back in the day for these radio shows. So we partner with KPQ. It's going to be broadcast live. So we have live performers on the stage. You can come see it. It'll be broadcast live that night, and then it'll be rebroadcast on Christmas Eve.
I went to last year's production, and I sat in the balcony, and I didn't watch the show. I closed my eyes and listened to the show. and it was cool.
Yeah, it's a great way because you can see it both. You can see it live, and then if you want to tune in later that week, you can hear it again and see the difference between it. So it's a great story. It's really fun. We have our sponsors. They get live radio ads, so we do them in the old style, and we write these ads for them, and we do them live on the show. So it's a really good time. I remember first time I think it was they were doing a Christmas story, and then next year I would go, I have to be in that show next year, and it was It's a Wonderful Life. So. Yeah.
And just like baseball, my favorite sport, and other things, there is a season to the theater world, and this begins a new season.
Yep.
Which means it's time to get folks to sign up and become full-time patrons and members, because you get all kinds of cool crap.
Yeah, so right now our tickets are on sale to all of our New America Pack members, and it goes on sale August 7th to the public. And so if you're a member, you get early access to all of our events that we do. That will include the Apple Blossom musical Grease that will be going on sale in early 2024. Any of our concerts and comedy shows that we put on. So it's a great way to support the arts, and you get some benefits as well. So
yeah, the biggest part, and I can't stress this enough, especially for the big popular shows, music theater is always popular. If you become a patron, if you become a member of the American Performing Arts Center, you get to buy tickets before anybody else does. You like 2 weeks before the tickets go on sale to the general public, the members of the America Pack, the season ticket holders, they get first crack and they get the best seats.
Yep.
So
if you have your favorite seat, or you want to sit where the sound system's at its finest, that's the way to do it. So we have the rest of our season. I'm sure we'll talk about sometime, but it's a full season. I recommend people go check it out on our website. We got videos of everything. It's going to be a really fun, exciting season, and then the remodel will start, and so we'll have kind of a modified season next year. But it's going to be exciting. We're really proud of it.
All the shows that we're talking about is on the New America Pack's website. These are the shows that Alex and I were talking about were the shows that the America Pack is bringing in and are the de facto producers of the show. There are other people who privately rent out the theater, and they're on the website as well, so you can check those out. But I wanted to give Alex some extra love because, well, you could always use it.
Yeah. I know.
While I have you here, anything else that's on your addled mind before we cut you loose?
Well, we'll just reiterate, we got a great season. We're really excited. We hope people come out. I think we're going to have a record-breaking season of sold-out shows, and I think there's something for everybody in there. So.
Well, there's something for everybody. You got rock and roll out in the concourse, and then you got the jazz, and then you got jazz, and then you got mariachi, and then you got holiday music, and I think you can.
And that's just till December. So.
Right.
Yeah.
So. Alex Haley, my good friend, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Absolutely. NewAmericaPack.org, or as Matt Cabman told me, you can't say ORG on television. We miss Matt. We'll be right back.
Hey, hon, would you run this around to the wash rack?
Oh, okay.
Hey, hon, what happened?
They shrunk the truck.
The all-new midsize Canyon is now available at Sangster Motors.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise.
Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE Master Techs and well-versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set.
These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
The family at the Epladolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Epladolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epladolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epladolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour.
that milky, hazy, smoky skies here in the Wenatchee Valley. I looked, we're still in the good area on the AQI. There are a couple of pockets where in yellow, that's moderate. Nobody is in hazardous for sensitive groups or anything like that. So either across the state, we're either green or yellow, but that might change a little bit as the day progresses. So we're a little bit of haze today. And then things are going to change a little bit on Friday. We're in for a very hot weekend. And then the best news that we've had in quite some time, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday, looks like we're finally going to get some badly needed rain. From the National Weather Service, I always like to say that because I don't do the forecasting. They do, and they do it a lot better than I do. Haze today, sunshine. If it wasn't for the haze, we'd have quite a bit of sunshine, as a matter of fact. Not a lot of wind to speak of. We'll get up to about 83, give or take a couple. 60 for the overnight low tonight. Friday, maybe a couple of little raindrops before noon. There's only about a 30% chance of that, and it would be in the morning as a weak system kind of clips our area. We're going to be maybe a degree or so warmer. We're not expecting any real rain here in the Wenatchee Valley. Most of that will be to the east of us. Friday night we clear out, then we get pretty hot. Saturday 91 to 98 to 99 on Monday, and then here comes the rain Monday night into Tuesday. Bring it on. That's it for us. We'll see you Friday. Bye-bye.
Ada Walsh, Winter Grace Williams, and Garrett Clayton are going to visit Montenegro and the beautiful town of Kotor.
There actually used to be a river over on the northern side of the wall,
The Bay, and Budva.
Grapes?
They're grapes.
Wow, doesn't this remind you of Venice?
Yeah, it's interesting. The Venetians actually lived here for 400 years, and you can see it in the architecture and in the streets.
Wow, that's so cool. And do you know the name of this place?
Yes, it's called the Square of Weapons because back here in this stone building, it was the arsenal for them. It's where they kept all their weapons.
Let's take a closer look.
Then we're off to Italy.
Can you believe some of these boats out here? I mean, they're huge.